Hello again. I've got my second unboxing for you all to view, and I'm trying a couple different things in this video. I've got a different device recording. Last time I used my cell phone, which turned out okay, but I felt it left some quality to be desired. And I also got a different light source up above. Maybe that'll help it out a bit, but enough about that. Let's talk about the figure here. And also, well, maybe it's not quite enough about the camera stuff. If this looks better or worse than the last video, let me know, and if I should switch back to the phone, and I will do so. Okay, now enough rambling about the camera. Let's talk about the Necron. Starting off with the box art, we've got, the Necron in the window box, Warhammer 40,000 on the side, much like the Intercessor. Servo skull at the top with some machinery attached to it. McFarlane Toys logo. Here's an interesting bit. On the back, there's just the Necron and the Assault Intercessor, but on the back of the artist-proof Intercessor, it had the Necron and the Assault Intercessor at the bottom and the artist-proof up top, so kind of interesting that they don't have all three on the back. You'd think they would, but they didn't. And on the side, we get a nice picture of the Necron warrior and his title at the bottom. Yeah, sorry about the lighting. It's causing a couple of issues. And at the top, McFarlane Toys again. So, enough about the box. Let's get him out of it. This might take a minute. A little bit of tape at the top. A lot of tape at the top. Alright, so as with almost any action figure out there, it'll just slide out. And I forgot about this last time, until later. Each one of these guys comes with a base, so they can stand up more easily. The Intercessor I felt didn't really need his, but Necron's got tiny feet, so he might need his base. Come on. Get the knife out of the way. Alright, got the base out. Get that out of here. Okay, as for the Necron, it looks like he's just got one strap holding him in. Or did I not quite cut that? Right, and oh, his gun looks like it has something holding it in too. And that would be it. Now I should be able to just get this guy out. Don't be stubborn. Nap time's over. Get out of your coffin, you... Okay, he's fine. Now for the Goss Rifle, I believe that's what this is called. And, interesting little bit, the Necron comes with a single Scarab. I don't know a whole lot about the Necrons. It's just like, I know they have Scarab swarms, but they have like Scarab grenades or something? Or is this just, if you get enough of these guys, you could have like a little Scarab swarm beside them? There's no peg on it, so I don't think it really like attaches to him at all. I'll figure that out in a minute. Alright, so here is the Necron himself. He has a lot of pretty nice looking battle damage detail. Yeah, like up on the hip, this is all scratched up. Some of his tubes coming out of his chest look like they've been cut. Got some nice bright green detail on his eyes. I don't know how well you can see that. And I'd always thought Necrons were silver. This guy is more of a very dirty copper. And a gray. I can almost call that a metallic gray. Yeah, I'll call that a dull metallic gray for his joints. Okay, now as for articulation on this guy, each shoulder has a ball joint that goes like deep inside the torso. Then the shoulder, so obviously the shoulder can rotate forward and back. That goes for both. The elbows are single jointed, unlike the intercessor, which was double jointed. But yeah, so that's as far as his arm can bend. That should be enough for him to hold his weapon. Oh, another rotation point is side to side at the shoulder. And this is also another joint, so it can go upward. Yep. Those are pretty stiff. They have a bunch of locking points, so that's a handle as a caution. But they're not locked at all, so I don't have to worry about breaking this guy. Although I will say that is a pretty thin joint attaching into the shoulder, so I wouldn't crank on that too hard. We just need a little breaking in. Alright, so there is no... or is there? Oh, there appears to be some rotation here, but with how the arm is shaped, you can't really rotate it that much at the elbow. Well, I can't really think of why you would need to. The hands, well, also the left hand is the, it's in more of a holding position, not a trigger finger. But at least it's closed, so I'll be able to hold something. You got, yeah, I can pivot back and forth. The hand itself can rotate at the wrist as well as like the base of the hand. That goes for both hands. Legs are kind of interesting. It's like a double ball joint, so there's a connection. Oh wait, maybe it's not. No, I think I was wrong. That's not a double ball joint. That's just there's like a piece of plastic jutting out from his hips. I am sorry about the camera angle. Come on, get your arm down. Yeah, for this hip, I thought that was a double ball joint. It's actually not. That's just like a piece of plastic jutting out, and then there's some rotation. Well, there's a good amount of rotation at the leg. And also at the hip, it can go outward, inward. Oh, and as with all figures, how far can I do the splits? More than the intercessor, I'll say that much. Knees, just forward and back, but that's really all you need for posing him. And as for the feet, here's an interesting bit. His, what would be his toes can pivot upward on both feet, as well as flat. And then you got your typical rotation at the ankle and the top of the foot. So posability is pretty good. Oh wait, the head. That's the last bit. Ooh. You can... Side can go all the way around unobstructed. And it can look... Can't look up very far, but, I don't know, maybe that's... Yeah, no, that's not too far, but... Again, these guys are kind of hunchback, so that's probably going to be like the forward-facing. Alright, let's get him on his base and get his gun in his hands and see what kind of poses we can do with him. Oh yeah, also, both feet have a peg hole in them. The base only has one peg, but it's just to make, it essentially just makes one foot bigger, allowing him to be more stable, and this guy I think is going to need it. Alright, so... Oh, that's actually a pivot point I forgot to mention, is in the chest there's a ball joint that connects the spine to the chest area, the torso. He can... Not a whole lot of forward and... Actually, no, there is a lot of forward and back up there. He can bend forward pretty far. And there's also more rotation where at the hips to the spine. Yeah, able to turn all the way around without obstruction. Oh, and I lied. That's actually not a ball joint up there. It's just a single direction piece. I'll try to focus that in. You can kind of see there's a line down the middle of that connection point, so it's just that's just forward and back. There's not much for side to side motion. Okay, I take that back also. There is. Make him do a little dance. Okay, back to what I should have done in the first place, get his gun in his hands. This is their Goss Rifle. The detail on this, I think, leaves a little bit to be desired. It's kind of just like a flat black. Silver looks alright. It's mostly in the cable that I wish they could have done a little more, like all these exposed cables, if those could have been black somehow, or maybe make the exposed cables silver, but, you know, that's just me being a little nitpicky. This handle's also in a fixed position. That's not really a complaint, might I add. I'm just stating. It does not rotate at all, so don't try to make it do so. Alright. Let's, hands are soft enough. I think I can get this in without breaking anything. Alright. Got it in one hand, and then the other hand can just slide over the handle. Yeah, so you can hold that pretty well. I think that looks pretty good. Let's see if he's got enough rotation to aim like right up at the camera. Yeah, he does. Alright, so definitely a lot of different poses you could pull off with this guy. I'm probably going to have him on my shelf in like the angry skeleton pose. Just for the sake of the meme. Okay, but he doesn't seem to want to stay that way without me holding him, so you're not going to be able to do that. Also, I want to see how stable he is without the base. Just, okay, alright, this is being difficult. Yeah, no, he definitely kind of needs the base. Yeah, this one, it's definitely a good thing they included a base, but the Intercessor was pretty stolid on his feet. Okay, at least they actually included a base, considering he needs one. And I'll spare a minute or two to talk about the Scarab. So, right on the top, you got some bright green detail, and on the head there's also another bright green dot. The shell is the same color as the Necron's armor, that kind of like dull brass, or not really sure what color to call that. Definitely not gold, it's not bright enough. And there's also this symbol on its belly. I don't know, again, I don't know a whole lot about Necron, so I'm not really sure what that means. And then he's got his 6 little arms. Also, this little guy is not posable at all. There's no rotation in any of this. He's one solid piece, so yeah, you'll break him if you try to move his arms around. But, I talked about the paint job on the Goss Rifle. The paint job on the Necron, I think it looks pretty nice. They didn't really put any washes on it, or maybe they did. There is some kind of like darker areas. I don't know if this is just like the undercoat showing through, or... Yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. That green is a really nice highlight, in my opinion. And, yeah, that's... Oh, I should probably also mention one last thing. So the Intercessor was 7 inches tall. This guy, when that's pretty much standing, is about, might be even a tad taller than 7 inches. Are they supposed to be that tall? Like, are Necrons as tall as Intercessors, or that'd make them taller than regular Space Marines? At any rate, that's just me being nitpicky. Overall, for $20, this is a nice figure, and I'm gonna happily have him on my shelf with the rest of my action figures of many different genres. But I think that concludes all I have to say about him. He's a pretty nice figure. I like his colors pretty well. And yep, that's definitely all I have to say about him. So hope this was helpful, or at least enjoyable. I will see you next time.